What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm, and this is day number 8 in the 31 days of Q&A. Make sure you give the videos one of these. Be sure you subscribe and leave your questions in the comment section below. I'm actually getting several questions, including one that I got today that I think is very, very interesting, and I've called in some help to give me the data I need to answer that question properly. So that's going to be coming real soon, if not tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that, especially if you're into gripper training and following the number 4 cert. Today's question comes from the Westfall Whisperer. And he says, do you ever do rack pulls with double overhand grip? Shit, you could probably do 600 pounds. And I replied to his comment, as I normally do when I get something that is interesting like this and is actually a serious question. If it's something that is preposterous or just completely stupid, then I generally don't respond or even delete the comment. But, this is interesting. The answer is yes, I do double overhand rack pulls. But here's the thing. Just because you shorten that range of motion in the deadlift does not mean that your performance is going to go up with double overhand. Because the instant that bar leaves the pins, it's going to begin rotating, and that is a lot of weight. So if, let's say right now I can do 515 double overhand, all right? I know this year I did 515 double overhand at least once. By raising the bar up on pins, especially if the bar is sitting on the pins, it's not going to create a training effect where all of a sudden I can hold more weight. The most I can hold is 515. Maybe a little bit more if everything is lined up optimally and the bar doesn't shift on me and my angle doesn't change, or body angle, the pull trajectory, stuff like that. The shorter range of motion is not going to give you more strength. Now, if you were pulling the bar off of blocks or boxes, I think that might be a little bit different, especially if the bar bends, that you might get a little increase in performance there, but I still don't think it's going to be that much. So I don't know. I don't remember what video this person posted on. Let's say, I think my top double overhand deadlift of all time is like 545. Let's say it was that video. So when I pulled that, if I would have set up on a rack, I don't think there's any chance I would have hit 600. I don't think I would have gotten much more than 545. If I'm set up where the weights are on boxes, then maybe I would have gotten a little bit better performance. However, when I pull off boxes, it's actually more difficult for me back strength wise than if I pull off the floor. Pulling off the floor, I'm able to break it off, and then I start to get momentum, right? So I go past the knee, I've got momentum now, I can lock it out, I can hold it, all that stuff. But for me, pulling off of boxes, it's actually a lot harder for me to break that weight off the ground. So just speaking about myself, I think pulling out of a rack would actually probably be harder for me. And pulling off boxes, let me start that part over. Pulling off the rack, I think, would be grip-wise harder for me. And I think pulling off boxes would be back strength-wise harder for me. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I have tried it. Hasn't been anything that would have helped my grip perform better. Might have been something pulling out of the rack where it would have saved my back a little bit. So, you know, just to differentiate, if you pull off boxes, like I've got 9-inch boxes, 9.5 or so, that's definitely weaker for my back. If I pull off the rack and we're only talking like a 2 or 3 inch pull, then if I, you know, and again, I'm assuming a legit deadlift. I'm not rolling it up my legs. If we're talking about that, then that's a different story. I didn't think about that. When I do rack pulls, I do them legit. So I'm turning it into a very short range deadlift where I'm not bracing and pinning and rolling the bar up my leg. So as long as we're talking about that, I don't think it's going to produce that much of an increase. If we're talking about something else, some hybrid lift or some basically a hand and thigh lift, then yeah, I can see a much better pull. I hope this has been helpful. If so, give it one of these, brother. Hell, give it one of those anyway. It helps the channel. It feeds the algorithm. It shows people are watching and they're engaged. And it helps present the videos in front of more people. So I appreciate all the help you can give me along those lines. Still gunning for 15,000 subscribers. Last I looked, I was at 14,917. So help me out all you can. Share this video. Leave comments below. Be sure to subscribe. Get me closer to that 15,000. I'll really appreciate it. All the best in your training, everybody. Take care.